welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Daron, Schoenrock, and Coach. Great weekend. Got to play 3 games. I had to throw a doubleheader in there because of the rain Friday, but I know you're glad to get the 3 games in again.
You're real glad. You know, we had originally scheduled this was going to be an 8-game spring break. Mm-hmm. You know, three last weekend, 2 midweek games, 3 this weekend, and we got we going 5-1. We got 6 of the 8 in, and I'm happy to get 6 of the 8 in, and grabbing some W's in the process is always good too.
It was good early last week. I know you lost the morning game to Sanford on Monday, a rare Monday game. We played them every now and then, but you come back against a really good Middle Tennessee team, and you look like a different team the next day. That Sanford game was a weekend where you had to take the whole weekend off because of the rain. Got in there. Tough loss, but you come back, and once you got into a rhythm, you saw what the team could do against the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, that's it's been a very historic series, mm-hmm. and it's a series that a lot of people kind of look to see where this Tiger team is in the state of baseball in Tennessee. So happy with you never count on sweeping somebody, but just happy with how we played, and we attacked the game. We had more energy. A lot of things that you walked away from, win or lose, and you felt better about your club.
Dealt with a little rain this weekend, but like we said, we got all 3 in. You were going to play a doubleheader Saturday. It got pushed back to 5 o'clock, and you never know what you're going to get when you had to push stuff around, but all of a sudden you look up and through 6 innings, you got Caleb Walling for throwing a perfect game.
Phenomenal outing for Caleb, and he mixed the 0-0 pitch, which when somebody's throwing a lot of strikes and teams start getting real aggressive and swinging early in the count, the more you can mix the 0-0 and throw strikes with it. So he mixed 3 pitches, 0-0 counts, and could pitch ahead in the count, behind, expanded when he needed to, and really got us off to a good start, kept us in there until our offense got going. I was really amazed too, Jeff, with the pushing back of the game time, how much we pushed it back and back and back, what kind of crowd we ended up having it for a 5 o'clock start. So it shows that, I told our guys, some people are starting to take notice now of, you get on a good roll, you start playing well, the weather gets warm, we'll get some folks out at FedEx Park.
5-6 innings is when you start thinking about that. Caleb said he's sort of thinking about it now. He did go 7 perfect. We go into the 7th. Darian Tubbs makes a nice catch, I believe, out on the warning track, and then Schreitenthal makes that great diving play to his left, and that's a bang reaction play. And at that point through 7, that had still preserved everything.
And the excitement our dugout had was good, and it's good for 2 reasons. Is we stress defense so much. We talk about defense. We practice. We spend much more time defensively on the field than we do offensively. So making great plays, guys feel like that's part of our MO. But then doing it when a guy's got a perfect game on the mound just adds to it. So those defensive plays create a lot of energy in our dugout.
Ran into the double-edged sword, though, in the bottom of the 7th. You're at a tie ball game. Their guy's throwing pretty well also. You blow up for 5 runs that inning. Now, you need the runs. The win's the most important thing, but it was such a rhythm game between the 2 pitchers. The pitchers rolling the dugout about 5 to 10 minutes between half innings. All of a sudden, Caleb's over there for about 20, 30 minutes, hits the first batter, comes back, gets the next 2 outs, and then you got to credit their guy. Just hit a nice double in the left field. It was you never want to see a no-hitter broken up on an iffy play, and he got a legit hit down in the left corner.
Yeah, he got a pitch up in his zone, and at that point in his pitch count, that's when those things start happening. Mm-hmm. Some, and if it's not a no-hitter, if it's not a perfect game going on, you really don't notice that one hit. That's just like, hey, getting a little tired, balls are starting to get elevated, let's get him out of there. And the difference now with this club is I think our starters have the understanding that we have the makings and the potential of a good college bullpen and a legit bullpen. So go out, drain your tank, do what you got to do, but don't mind and don't fear giving the ball up.
Right.
Like some places you're like, man, I don't really trust that next guy coming in. There's a lot of trust on that pitching staff now.
Coach, you come back in the doubleheader, and you come back in a big way. You jump on them, 11-1 win in Game 1. Kane Barrow had 4 hits. Game 2, though, in that doubleheader, and you knew it. It's hard to sweep a series. It doesn't matter who you're playing. And EIU, eventually the odds are going to come around. Sure. They were looking for their first win. That's always what you fear once you get over 8, 9, 10 games against a winless team. Is they're going to be due a win, but you're able to scratch out 3 runs there in the 8th, take advantage of a infield hit, I believe, that Kane got just to score what would be the game-winning run. You get 2 runs off a wild pitch thanks to Darian Tubbs' speed, never stopped around third, able to get out of there with a sweep.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about in those games, little things make a difference, and you're always going to be in one close game in any series. In fact, EIU had played Georgia the fifth or sixth inning, and two of the blowout games was a tie game, 1-1. They played Arkansas 0-0 game through 6, and then the games becomes blown out. So you knew that the team had that capabilities. You keep playing hard, you keep waiting for the moments, you grab moments when they come, and that's what we were able to do. And our speed on the bases showed in that game, and that was probably the difference in creating that momentum, and then the depth we have in the bullpen.
Good to see Corey Shaven get his first career home run. He's a guy, and you like players like this. The freshman doesn't play very much. A lot of freshmen don't. Got a few more spots last year, pinch hit here and there. Pinch ran for you a little bit, but he's a guy that's come in, gone to work, gone through the process of being a freshman, then a sophomore. Just does his work, doesn't complain. He's not a problem. He's just gone through the process, and good to see it pay off.
He's a detriment. He's a detriment to the other team because he energizes our dugout. And with the days he plays, the days he doesn't play, you get the same Corey every day. I did think, one of the previous games he DH'd a few games back, I noticed that, in the starting lineup, then all of a sudden Corey was kind of quieter that day. And I said something to him. I said, Corey, you weren't yourself yesterday. And he didn't have good at-bats that day. So you got to go back and be yourself. And he's always been a guy that he roots for everybody in that dugout. He's a Tiger through and through, and it's real. And he's put the work in. He's shortened his stroke up and gotten stronger, and he's got a good swing off in an advantage count, which we've talked about, and that was a big moment of the game.
You got to be excited for him because he really is kind of a student of the game. He's already talked about wanting to stay here and coach once his college or beyond that career's done. You got to be excited about one day maybe having him on staff.
Oh yeah, and he'll pour himself into it, and that's what he does. Is he pours himself into everything he does. So happy to see him get that, and our dugout was as thrilled as they could be for anybody, and that got a little bit of life in our dugout, and it enabled us to kind of generate some things after that.
All right, with the weather and everything, you're starting to find some makeup games now. You got Alcorn State coming to town this weekend. It's going to end up being a 4-game series. The only change is that Saturday's the doubleheader. You're going to bounce that up to a 1 o'clock start.
Correct.
So Friday 6:30, Sunday at 1. Just the Saturday doubleheader starts at 1. So you're going to start to make up some games here.
Absolutely. We found ways, with the Alcorn State, and then we're adding a SEMO game later on, I think April 15th. We're going to add the UT Martin Day, the Babe Howard Day is going to be a day-night doubleheader, a day game at FedEx Park, the night game in Millington. So we're finding ways to grab games. I think 4 of the 5 we've lost now. So if we play everything from here on out, we'll have played 55, which 3 weeks ago, looking at that, it's amazing.
You've been thinking 48.
Yeah, that we found ways to do that. So I promised our team that to put them in the environment of, 1, getting reps in the game before we go into conference tournament play, 2, learning more about our roster, learning more about our pitching depth. The evaluation process never ends. It goes on during the season with the younger guys, giving them opportunities to see what their future is going to be like, and games is where you need to learn that.
You mentioned conference, and you got a few games this week and midweek next week. Conference starts next weekend. It's coming up really quick now.
Coming up quick. We start, tough series on the road at East Carolina. Tough place to go play. We've, spent a lot of years in Conference USA with them, and a place that's very, very committed to baseball and take their baseball very serious, and that facility will kind of intimidate some guys if you haven't seen it before. I'm looking forward to that. But we got a lot of things to do before we get on that plane for conference play.
Well, we'll talk more in depth about it when we get to conference series next weekend. But real quick, you look at the league. It's looking like it could be a 4-bid league this year.
Very good, very strong start. Opponents ranked in the top 20. And really the losing Louisville, everybody thought, wow, that's going to really hurt the league. But you pick up Tulane, you pick up East Carolina, and Houston's continuing.
UCF's up to number 7.
UCF's up to number 7, and South Florida's gaining. They're having some big wins along the way with a new coaching staff. It's top to bottom. It's going to be very good. I think really if the sun went down today on the season, we'd have 3 with a 4th one right on the bubble.
Yeah.
So. lot of stuff left to go under the bridge, but I'm excited to get that started too.
All right, Coach, we'll see you out at the ballpark.
Thanks, Jeff.
Head Coach Daron Schoenrock, I'm Jeff Brightwell. This is the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.